Welcome back to another episode of Jesus is Messiah, the podcast where Scripture's ancient voices meet today's deepest questions. If you like this content, please share, like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. In this episode, we dive into the prophecy in the book of Micah 5:2 and its fulfillment in Jesus of Nazareth and the real-world implications seen today. Let's get started. From a small Judean town called Bethlehem, the prophet spoke of a ruler whose greatness would reach the ends of the earth. Today, billions confess the God of Abraham through Jesus of Nazareth. Is that coincidence or prophecy walking into history? This episode argues that Jesus uniquely fits Micah's promise of a Davidic ruler from Bethlehem. The global spread of faith in Israel's God through him coheres with that prophetic vision. The promise in Micah 5. Micah chapter 5 verse 2 names Bethlehem Ephrathah, David's town, as the origin of a ruler whose goings forth are from ancient days. The passage expands to a shepherd king who brings peace, gathers the remnant and confronts oppression. This is not generic hope. It is a Davidic promise with universal scope. The text says his greatness will reach to the ends of the earth. Who in history plausibly matches Bethlehem, Davidic identity and worldwide impact? The gospel narrative explicitly ties Jesus' birth to Micah chapter 5 verse 2. It frames him as the promised Davidic shepherd king. Gentile seekers in Matthew's infancy story signal that the nations are being drawn to worship Israel's God through the Messiah. The Bethlehem David thread isn't peripheral. It's the prophetic backbone of Jesus' identity in the earliest sources. Today, roughly 1/3 of humanity identifies as Christian. Nations have actually come to confess the God of Abraham through him at scale. This represents a multi-continent acknowledgement of the God of Abraham through Jesus. A Bethlehem-born Davidic shepherd, whose influence reaches nations, aligns with the actual diffusion of this faith across the globe. Prophecy didn't stay on the page. It crossed oceans and languages. When Israel declared independence in 1948, the United States of America recognized the new state in only 11 minutes. This set a durable partnership shaped in part by leaders and publics formed in a predominantly Christian culture. The same movement that spread the confession of Israel's God also contributed to practical support. This strengthened the modern Jewish state in a contested region. Motives included geopolitics and moral considerations. Biblical sympathies were a real, not exclusive factor. This episode claims prophetic convergence. Bethlehem David, global spread of faith in Israel's God through Jesus, and historical support with real consequences. Policy motives in 1948 and beyond were mixed. This is about convergence, not simplification. Persecuting Jews is incompatible with Jesus' commands to love enemies and do good to those who oppose you. Such actions cannot claim Jesus' authority or legacy. Jesus came first to save his own people, Israel, and next for all the Gentiles who chose to believe in him. The case for Jesus should be made with respect, shared scriptures, and care for our Jewish brothers, not triumphalism. Bethlehem and Davidic identity centered on Jesus from the start. Nations have actually come to confess the God of Abraham through Jesus at scale. The movement has had tangible historical effects that are benefiting the Jewish people. Prophecy, person, and history converge in a way no other figure replicates. From Bethlehem's promise to a worldwide confession, from ancient words to modern consequences, the thread holds. A Davidic shepherd whose greatness reaches the nations. Consider Micah chapter 5 alongside Matthew chapters 1 and 2. Weigh the global story that followed. Ask whether in Jesus the God of Abraham has kept a promise for all peoples. Take these steps. Read Micah chapters 4 and 5 and Matthew chapters 1 and 2 in one sitting. Note every link you see. What do you think? If you like this content, please share, like, and subscribe. We really appreciate it.